Wandering Woman here with Travel Award Search. Today we're searching for award flights in business class from New York City to Paris. We're going to try several different airlines, including Delta, since we had a question about Delta after another video. So first, let's go to American Airlines, our favorite place to go to search for One World flights. We don't need to log in on American, so just scroll down the page. And we've got everything filled in already. You notice that we've filled in NYC for New York City. That will give us all the area airports in one search. The same for Paris in case there's flights into Orly in addition to flights into Charles de Gaulle, the main airport. And we are searching for August 31st, which is about 9 months out. So let's hit the search key. Now you notice that that first page did not give me an opportunity to specify business class. I like to do that by going into the calendar view and then selecting business class there, so I immediately get the full month. You can also do it by going to advanced search on the first page and selecting it there. You can see it looks like 57,500 miles is available almost every day, which is fantastic, until we take a look at the fees, which are awfully high at $750. So let's click through a little bit and see if there's any days where that doesn't apply. No, it looks like that's pretty consistent. So let's stick with our original date and take a look at those flights, because although the fees are high, the miles are quite reasonable. Let's click the down arrow on business, and the first flight it gives us is awfully long at 19 hours. Let's take a look. It goes through Heathrow, operated by British Airways, but it has an 11.5-hour connection time. That's way too long to be very attractive. So let's get out of that and let's click on duration. See if we can get something better. So first, of course, is the nonstop, which is 180,000 points. But if you're looking to conserve your points, we can get one with one stop that's just 9.5 hours. Let's see how long that stop is. That is 1 hour and 5 minutes. For Heathrow, that is extremely tight. I've had friends miss connections with that kind of timing. So I would tend to be conservative and look for something a little longer. And there are several flights in this mix. If we go down, here's one that's longer. Let's see what the connection time is. 2 hours, 45 minutes. That should give us ample time to connect, a little bit of wiggle room in case we're late, and hopefully some time to enjoy the business class lounge. Also, when you're looking at connection times, you can take a look at when the next flight is. You can see there are many flights here. So if the next flight is in an hour or two, you might not be as concerned with a tight connection as if you might have to wait a whole day to get to your destination. This flight has good miles, rather high fees. There's just one seat left on this particular flight. You can get more seats on some of the tighter connection flights. So a possibility, but not perfect. Now let's go to United to search for Star Alliance flights. Again, we filled things in. We also did log in on United so that if there are special fares for cardholders or elite members, we see those. And again, the New York City to get all the airports in the area. So at the top, we can see that there should be flights available for 77,000 miles. But of course, the first one we see is the nonstop on United for 175,000. Let's resort so we can see what that 77,000 mile flight looks like. It is just one stop through Warsaw with a 3-hour layover, so that should be more than adequate. It is on LOT Polish Airlines. A friend of mine flew them recently and actually highly recommends them. So that sounds good. 77,000 miles and a very reasonable $24 copay. That is a much better opportunity than the American flight that we looked at that's actually on British Airways. And you can see at the top, there's some other opportunities nearby. So if you wanted to play with those and look at a little bit different dates and see what those flights look like, you could do that as well. Now let's go to Air France. Since we're going to Paris, again, we've got everything filled in. Air France and KLM are part of the Flying Blue program that they share, and they are also partners with Delta. So this looks good right here with 71,000 miles. Let's be sure and sort these by price. So we pick up everything. So we've got 2 flights here that are actually nonstop for 71,500 miles and a little under $200 in fees. They both go out of JFK. One gets in at 5:50 in the morning, one at 11 o'clock in the morning. I would tend to opt for the 11 o'clock so that it's easier to adjust to the time. Very important to stay up through dinner time on the first night there. It's a little easier to do if you get there at 11 in the morning than if you get there at 6 in the morning. You can also see there's 7 seats left at this fair. That's pretty amazing. Let's check on Delta. So now let's take a look at Delta. You don't need to log in on Delta. And again, we filled in the information. Be sure to click Shop with Miles. And then you also need to click on this advanced search box and select Delta 1. That is the only class that will give you the lie flat beds. So let's see what we get there. So 120,000 miles. The way you look at the details on here is you have to click Continue. So 120,000 miles through Heathrow, going on Virgin Atlantic and Air France, but you notice just a $27 copay. So it does not have that real high copay fee that you see on the American Airlines site for British Airways, but a pretty steep price in miles, especially when you consider what we've got on the Air France site with 71,000 miles with no stops. So we have other options there. Let's see. What we get here is a nonstop. It is operated by Delta for 375,000 miles. Only $6, but 375,000 miles is a lot. So I would advise, if you have a lot of Delta miles or live in a Delta hub, certainly it's always worth searching them, but generally Delta miles are not as valuable as some of the other airline miles, which is why I hadn't searched for Delta in the earlier video on international business fares. As always, we've tracked our results, this time in a spreadsheet, which gives us a really nice, clear comparison between the different results we've gotten. We got a very wide range of results, from 57,000 miles to 120,000 miles and $24 to $751. It just shows the importance of looking at several different sites in order to maximize the value of your miles and get the kind of flights you really want. So as we look at these search results, I would certainly hone in on the Air France flight. It's got a reasonable number of miles, reasonable although not the lowest of fees. It is non-stop, which is fantastic, and there's 7 tickets available. So pretty hard to beat that. Air France is part of the Flying Blue program, and you can transfer American Express, Capital One, Chase, or Citibank points to Air France in order to purchase this flight. Now for key points with Clem, a summary of some of the highlights from the video. Time to get to work, Clem. Thank you, Clem. As we saw in our results comparison, it's very important to search various airlines so that you can maximize the value of your points. Search American Airlines for One World flights. United is the best site to search for Star Alliance flights. And then search others as are appropriate for your search. What programs you're in. We did a Delta search due to a question from a subscriber. The destination. We were going to Paris, so we chose to search Air France. Also consider your time and energy and the existing results. How much searching do you want to do, and how good are the results you already have? Be sure to track your results, noting not just the mileage, but also the fees involved and the other things that are important to you. How many tickets there are, how many stops, how long the layovers. Then take a look at those results, evaluate them, and if you find something you like, take action, because award flights change frequently. So what's available today may not be available tomorrow. Book it while you can. So that's our video on a flight search from New York City to Paris in business class. This is Wandering Woman and Clem with Travel Award Search. We hope you enjoyed our video. We'd love to hear your comments or have you subscribe to our channel. In the meantime, travel wisely, travel well. Thank you.